What if someone's birth time is not known? Is it still possible to give someone a proper time reading without knowing that
You
information?
cannot give anything but, well, if you're psychic, you can give it a reading of some sort, but to be correct, you need the time. But yes, there's still a lot of knowledge that can be given to a person because you have the other planets and their relationships. So there's still knowledge to be given, but it's not as precise and as accurate as, let's say, the birth time would provide. I guess as I was saying earlier, as that applies to the planets and their precise positions in the house system, to where they are, right, and what their function is in those areas, that's superior. That's excellent. But without it, yes, you can give more of a general and partial sense of the forces. I've done that many times. Yeah. There was also a rectification. You know, I've asked people questions about certain things in their lives, and I was able to ascertain a chart. It's rough, it's general, but based upon what they told me, you know, they put together a rectified chart. Yes. Not absolutely correct, but rectified. Could be.
Is it common for people to not live up to the full potential of their chart? In other words, are most people operating at a level that's below, above, or against certain astrological influences?
Yes, it could be any of those. Yes, it can be any of those. You can be beneath your astrologic potential, as I used to call it, or you can be beyond it. You can be beyond the potential of the chart. See? You can be off the map. See? You can be way beyond that. In fact, as you grow and you evolve spiritually, you become less subject to the patterns, less interested in the patterns, and less part of the astrologic, let's say, dimension of karma. See? And that's what higher spiritual practice is all about. Moving less along the line of time and much more into the deepness of consciousness and space, and nowness, say, timelessness. It's good to balance both out. You're in time but not of it.
Are the influences and lessons that are indicated in one's birth chart usually a result of past life karma?
Always. Always. No question about it. Family karma. Call it past life, just family karma. Yeah.
Can the planets and the signs have an influence on things that are not considered living beings, such as a corporation?
Everything has its time. Everything has its time. So everything has a chart. Everything that shows up and everything that fades out is part of a time process. Process or pattern of time. So this is a time universe, it's a time world. Appearances and disappearances are all about time. Time to appear, time to show up and be, exist, live, and a time to disappear. Mm-hmm. And there's a time for a memory of that thing, and so on. Everything has a time.
I have one final question. Do you have any advice for people who are receiving a time reading for the first time? Are there any points that one should consider when receiving a time reading?
Well, as I said, and I keep mentioning this, your reading is not about you as much as about time. The time that is relevant to your experience as a born being. So, if we're talking very general, then you can do certain kind of very general reading for noon of the day you were born. Right? Say, well, I have no time, I know, so go for noon. It's half a day. Sometimes people will say, oh, it was in the morning. So yeah, do it for 6 a.m. So it was in the evening, do it for 6 p.m. Say, oh, it was everybody's asleep, do it for midnight. So, oh, it was a very busy day, and it wasn't in the morning, so it wasn't in the afternoon. High noon. Do it for noon. So you get a general, but at least ballpark, based upon witnesses who knew or heard and so on. And so it's always useful in every case it's useful. To what degree is it useful depends on the amount of knowledge that gives you the most precise delineation possible. Sometimes mothers say when they saw it happen, and others would contest it and say, no. Sometimes the birth certificate has a time on it, and it's wrong. You see, it could be wrong, it depends. So, nobody is that. But there's a lot of truth to it, see, beyond that. See. So be open-minded, and know that it's not you, but perhaps something which gives you a sense of your timing and your position in the time wheel. So it could be that useful. Of course, you want to find the most neutral reader and the most professional reader. That's positive, not just using astrology to dump on you all the negative attributes of aspects and a doomy, gloom sort of horoscopic analysis of your time, and you feel like crap. A lot of people have come to me and say, "Oh, it's awful. Could you read for me?" And I said, "I don't read." They said, "Well, we'd like you to read it." I said, "Well, I guess I'll have to learn it." And then I taught myself that, like in no time, and started to read for peeps. I said, "Oh, there's a positive view to this, obviously." It depends on the reader then, see, to give you the best positive, uplifting reading, but not in any way ignoring issues that are a little bit harder to swallow. That could be the case as well. So you got to have a little bit of a psychic sensitivity as well as analytical knowledge in psychological or technical terms. Comment? Is that it for now?
Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.